Hi everyone, welcome to episode 11 of The Transgender. It's me and an elf.
Episode 11.
Yes.
The 11th episode.
Yeah.
Double ones. All right.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. We're doing well. So, how have you been, Ash? How's your last little bit been?
I'm so tired. My new job is just been killing me on the hours, going to work, having to leave here at 7, so I have to get up at 6, which means my body clock is waking me up at 5, and it's just hell. And then,
but it's good though, right? It's a good job.
It's a good job. Yes, I enjoy my work. It's good. The people at work are cool.
That I am glad to know. Yeah.
It's just I spend 4 hours on a train every day, and
that is like a long commute.
Yeah.
That's like a really long commute.
It's a really long commute.
I respect your distaste for such a thing. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I was so sick last week that I had to push the show back, so I am the reason that we didn't have the show last week.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact we have it this week instead. So
yeah.
All of you who couldn't have made it last week, you can thank me, and all of you who could have but are watching the VOD of this and didn't get to see it live, my fault. But I'm here now, so it's fine. Everything's okay.
Yeah.
And we can continue with our broadcast, the 11th broadcast. So today's order of business is, of course, as the title suggests below me, that we have viewer questions.
Yeah.
We talked to each other and we were like, what are we going to talk about? And then Ash was like, why don't we just do more viewer questions? I was like, that's great. I don't have to think about anything until I read the questions. I don't have to think about anything until I read the questions, and then I can just ramble. It's great. It's perfect. Dead on.
Yeah. So we did one of these, was the 4th or the 5th episode, I think.
Yeah, it was earlier in the series.
Mm-hmm.
We have a Google document.
We have a Google Doc
in which we have submitted questions.
Yeah.
From you fine individuals.
Do we wide variety of people?
Do we want to also link that Google Doc in the chat in case somebody in chat is I have a question?
Yes.
I don't know.
Let's do that.
I don't know how you want to play that game. Yeah.
I will do that. I will link. Double check that wasn't the edit link.
Yeah, please.
Which is important.
Yeah. Well, I want the edit link, but the chat should have the not edit link. Finally, we can ask anything we want to know about locomotives. Yes, this is the place for that. 100%.
This is the train's agenda.
The train's agenda. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, the amount of trans women I know that work in the train industry is insane. Don't know why, but trans women just end up in...
You would qualify the amount of people that you know in the train industry as insane? I don't know. Insane.
I know a lot
of
people.
That makes me think that every second person working in trains is trans. I'm not saying that's not necessarily true. It might be, but insane is a large statement.
Okay, but all of the people I know who work on trains are trans.
Yeah, but lots of the people you know are trans, right? That's just... So I feel that's if you weren't part of the trans community, you might know people who worked on trains that way. You know what I mean? It's a different thing. The statistics of it are sample bias.
Okay. We're getting into Bayesian statistics, which is what I do at work, which is what I don't want to talk about.
I don't know. I just felt like I had to. I had to get into that a little bit right there. But should we, instead of me talking about the sample bias of your social groups, should we get into our questions?
Yes, let's do that.
All right. Let's kick it off, shall we?
Yeah.
You wanna start us off, Ash, or should I?
You can start if you like.
Do you want? No, you go first. I've been talking. I'm still talking.
Okay. Do we want to do this first question on the?
I mean, we can.
Yeah. Okay. I just want to double check. So our first question is from Gary, and Gary asks, so I'm a cis guy and I'm attracted to trans girls. Question is, how do I get out and meet a nice trans girl without coming off as a creepy chaser type? I can't help, I'm shy and a bit nervous and blah blah blah. Okay.
Yeah, okay. we get the
idea.
The idea is you don't want to come across as a creepy person.
Yeah.
And you're attracted to trans girls. That's fine. You know, like that's perfectly okay. I think that, Gary, my biggest piece of advice for you to not come across as a creepy person is to do the regular stuff that not creepy people do. I think like it's important to recognize that like you have an attraction to a certain kind of person. That's fine. Like, but not to like fetishize that attraction.
Yeah, I feel like that's the line that gets crossed a lot with people who say they're like specifically attracted to trans people, is it goes into like that weird fetishization area, and it's creepy. But otherwise, yeah, there's just like good dating advice. I haven't dated anyone.
Shall I do
you do the dating advice.
All right, step one, friends. Elf's dating advice. Step one: treat the other person like a person. They have interests and desires and things that they think are cool. You should tell them about that stuff, or not tell them about it, but like talk to them about that stuff and learn about a person as a person, rather than like, I like trans girls and that's the only thing I know about this person and I'm in love with them. You know what I mean? Like that would be bad. That'd be bad. That's a bad way to go about it. You should learn things about people, and then that's step two. No, the step one is the most important step. I can't even think of step two. Step two, be honest and, like forthright about your intentions, like don't do the whole like, I'm gonna sit around and hope that they ask me to go on a date when I'm looking like I'm their friend, but I'm really just trying to get a date, because that shit sucks. Shit sucks. If you want to date someone, you just ask them, and I promise you they'll tell you yes or no, and then that's the end of the conversation, or the start of the conversation, which is great. Hooray for you.
So there's a mention in this question of like Tinder and dating apps, and so what I'll say on that is, first off, if someone's matched with you, that means like they're already like they've already done the bare minimum showing of interest,
which is say yes, basically.
Right? At that point, that's where you just need to like send a message and be like, "Hi, I liked XYZ in your profile," right? If you don't like being, if specifically if you identify as male and you don't like being the person who like does the first stage of the conversation, check out Bumble, because Bumble is all about when you get like a male female match in Bumble, the woman has to send them the first message. It's got like that. It's got that power balance is flipped around.
Okay.
In the app. Don't do what Dave said in chat and just send, "Hey baby, you want some fuck?" Don't do that. That's not how you Tinder.
Dave, please. But yeah, I think this one falls under like less so advice I can give you about interacting with trans folks. or whatever, and
Mhm.
more so just advice for interacting with people you want to date. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if you want to go on a date with a person, that's more about dating than it is about trans anything, right?
Mhm.
I feel like, at least in my experience,
Yeah.
a person being trans should be like one of the qualities of a person. You know what I mean? Like, as people have many. You know, I'm trans and a nerd and a streamer and a larper, and if any of those things make you not like it, then I'm probably not the person for you. You know, like that kind of stuff. Like, there's a lot of
Mhm.
other qualifiers. Yeah. Um, yeah. I think it's more a dating thing than it is like
Mhm.
a trans
Yeah,
person.
and I think like one last like trans specific piece of advice is don't be the one to broach the like trans conversation. Like let the person you're talking to bring that up themselves, because they'll be able to set the tone of the conversation that they
Yeah.
want, the level that they're comfortable with.
Yeah, I think that's probably a good point too. Yeah. Streamer, no, I will never date a streamer. I know, right? Chat,
Hmm.
yeah, streamers,
We
not
just
a good,
never have
not
any
a good
free time.
dating. All right, you want me to do this next one?
Yeah.
So our next question comes to us from Natalie. Hi, Natalie. She says, I'm trans and due to shitty IRL experiences, have a really hard time not feeling inferior to cis women. I know it's due to internalized transphobia, but recognizing myself as valid can be almost impossible at times. Have you experienced similar thoughts? And if so, how did you deal with them? Love you, heart. Ash, your thoughts?
You're beautiful. You're amazing. All trans people are beautiful, amazing, fantastic people, and you're valid, and you're not inferior to someone just because when they
Anyone.
were born, a doctor pointed at them and said, "That's a girl."
Yes, I 100% agree with Ash, and you know, like I can also pour on the amazing compliments, but Ash does it better than me, so I let her do that. But what I will say is that like there's part of this question where it's like, how did you deal with feeling shitty? Basically, like how did you deal with feelings of inferiority? And I get you, right? Like I'm with you on this. I definitely understand what you mean, and I've been there, right? And I'm still there sometimes. Who knows? You know, like occasionally. But I think that's a thing that like everybody. It's not even necessarily about internalized transphobia so much as just like everybody gets down on themselves in comparison to other people sometimes, like all the time. You know, you look at someone and you're like, damn, they're tall. I wish I were tall. You know, like damn, they're you know, like they got those glasses they have are cool. I wish I had cool glasses like them or whatever. Like you know, all kinds of bullshit. But specifically, this kind of like transwise inferiority feeling, right? Like, um, I think the way I dealt with it when I was dealing with this sort of thing is to recognize that it is not me. It is not me that is feeling that because of anything like essentially me, but that we feel that way because society's pressures are like that we should feel that way, right? And if there's one thing I like, it's going fuck that, you know? I mean, like society, fuck you. You know what I mean? So like the pressures of the people around you should not collapse in on the pressures that you give yourself. You know what I mean? Like love yourself, be awesome to yourself,
Mm-hmm.
and be hype about what you are doing, not what you don't have. That's my advice.
Yeah, yeah, no, I agree. So much of coming to terms with being trans is, I think realizing that the like beauty standards and like attractiveness in particularly in Western culture is so like cis orientated, and you just got to realize that trans people are we're beautiful and amazing in all of our own ways.
But the other thing is that, like, when we're talking about beauty standards in particular, even though they're like cis oriented, they're also cis unrealistic too.
Yeah.
If you're holding
100%.
yourself to like that standard, no, like even people who are like in the circumstance of being exactly that kind of person don't feel that they are enough that kind of you know what I mean? Like, so it is one of those things where it's just like, fuck you, society.
Yeah. 100%.
All right, what we got next?
Okay,
what's our
next question?
Next jam.
Our next question is from Rose Artemis, one of our regulars here in the Transgender. And she asks, what have been some of the best reactions you've had to coming out to someone? What could more people do to make coming out easier?
Can I field this?
Yeah, absolutely.
This? So the best, bar none, I've told this story before on the Transgender, I'm sure, but the best bar none reaction I ever got to coming out to anyone was my youngest sister, whose first thing that she said after like probably 5 seconds of dead silence, the first thing that she said was, well, I know what to get you for Christmas now. I never know what to get you for Christmas, but now I know. That was what she said. That was her response when I came out. Yeah. So
what did she get you for Christmas?
I got a hair straightener for Christmas from her. Yeah. She loves hers, so she figured like I've got long hair, you know.
Yeah.
That's what I want. My hair's already kind of straight though, so it's you know, whatever. But it's cool.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. But that's what she said when I came out. Yeah, my youngest sister. That's what she said. What about you, Ash?
I think that the like funniest for me was my, because even my younger brother and my older brother was just like, huh, okay, and that was it, and that was all the explanation needed, and just, well, I guess we're just moving on with our lives now.
I mean, that's good.
Yeah.
A good way to do it.
Yeah.
And the second part of the question is like, what should people do to make it easier or something? There was, I'm not looking at it. What can more people do to make coming out easier? I think the thing is it's, don't act like it's an end of the world fucking doom statement. Like, so many people put so much like heavy weight on it, and I get that it is one of those things that like you put heavy weight on when you come out sometimes, you know, like certain people, but like, this does not have to be a statement where you make a formal declaration of your intentions, you know what I mean? And like, in response, it doesn't have to be this like big drama thing. Like with my sister, it was like, here's a joke, you know what I mean? Like, and as long as it's in good taste, you're good. Like, read your audience, obviously, but you're good.
I think a big part of it is also realizing that it's not about you. Like a lot of when we see like bad reactions to coming out, it's because the person who is being, I don't know I don't know how to conjugate these verbs. The person like reacting like takes it as like a personal like offense that the person is coming out, and like, what have I done wrong? What have I done to deserve this kind of thing? And you just gotta realize that it's not about you, Sally.
It's not about you, Steve. Yeah.
Damn it.
Goddamn freaking Paul.
Can I continue on this line of questioning?
Yeah. Of course.
So I think both of us are in a position now where people come out to us
all the goddamn
time. And I never know how to react. When like a viewer like comes into my Discord and is like, yeah, I just want to say that like I recently came out to my family, and I want to like say to the like this Twitch community that I'm part of, and I want to share this with you. I go through stages of, oh my god, yay, to, oh, I'm so sorry for you, and oh my god, yay, you're in the club now.
I mean, it's interesting, right? Because like you know where the path leads. You've walked down the path of like coming out and knowing what that is at that point in time and where it'll go. So yeah, there is a certain degree of like, yes, congratulations, my friend, and then sort of like, but you're also fucked, like really fucked, and I'm sorry for that. Because yeah, you have that sympathy and also that excitement for a person who's like embracing themselves. You know what I mean? It's one of those things where it's like, yeah, I don't know how to react either. I've been getting probably a message a day for the past 2 years. And I'm just talking like my Twitter DMs, like my, like, and if it's not coming out, it's like a message about, how do I know if I'm trans, like kind of stuff. I get that all the time, like all the time. Like GLAAD should pay me money for the amount of trans therapy I do. But I get lots of messages about that stuff. I have a rote reply because I cannot expend emotional energy on every single message. You know what I mean? Like I can't. I just can't.
Yeah.
It would. I can't be personally involved with that many people. It's just not possible.
No, that makes sense.
So my rote reply is generally, if they're asking about if they're trans or how they know they're trans, I go, if you're thinking about whether or not you're trans, people who aren't trans don't do that. So have a little think some more, you know? And then if it's like, I'm coming out and I don't know what to do or whatever, I'm like, that depends on your own personal situation. I can't give you practical advice about what you should do when you come out, but safety first. Make sure that you will be safe, you know, like, and that's the thing that I say. If you think there will be bad reactions are bad. Don't do it if you're not going to be able to have somewhere to go and all that kind of crap. So that's the other thing that I say. But yeah, I don't know how to reply to them either. I've been doing it for like years now, and I still don't know how to reply to people coming out to me other than to be supportive or practical or helpful, depending on what they're looking for. I'm not very good at like head patting, like it'll be okay, like comforting things. Like that's not really my forte. I'm there if you need the practical advice about what the next step is.
Yeah.
You know? Nothing frustrates me more than giving people advice and then them not using that advice to do anything.
Yeah.
Like, I give you advice about exactly what you should do because I know these things. And then you sit around for another 6 months feeling sorry for yourself when I've given you the answer.
Yeah.
It's no good for me. Like ruins my day.
Sorry if I was making faces during that amazing answer, but my dog just farted.
Wrecked.
It's not good. That's why I don't like him in my room. Should we do the next question?
Yeah, hit it up. Or it's my turn, right?
Yes.
I'm supposed to be doing the next question? Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Okay. What have we got? So this one comes at us from the Sleeping God. What a name. And he asks or says, my daughter has a trans girl friend whose parents are unaccepting. Without getting angry, what can I say to them to help them change their minds? Okay.
This is a hard one.
That's tough because changing someone's mind is something that like I can't know without knowing that person. You know what I mean? It's hard for me to give you practical advice. But what I would say is like you don't want to focus on changing somebody's mind who's already decided that they're unaccepting of their trans girl daughter, you know, or what have you. That's not what you want to be doing. What you want to be doing is, as an adult, for this person, offering support to them and a place to go if they need it and like that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? If this is your daughter's friend, right? Like you being somebody that they know is accepting is a lot more of a thing, I think, than trying to like convince their parents that they're wrong. Because I think you're getting into a mire of some very dangerous territory when you start, like, I don't know, telling parents that they're doing something incorrectly with their own child. I've had that problem before, you know what I mean? Like, I've been there being like, yo, you should be more reasonable about this thing. And they're just like, how dare you?
How dare you?
Yeah, exactly. So I feel like it's definitely more about, like, can you be supportive to that person more so than can you tell the people who are wrong that they're wrong and then see what what happens, you know what I mean? I don't know what you think, Ash, but
yeah, I mean, there's no magic bullet to changing someone's mind for supporting people transitioning. If there was, we wouldn't have the situation that we have with parents being unaccepting. I think that the most important thing to say to people, and what I've said to parents in the past who have like spoken to me and said like my child has come out and like I don't know how to like accept this, is at the end of the day, like, your kid's happiness should be your absolute number one priority when it comes to parenting. And trans kids who don't get to transition do not end up happy. And there are, you know, you can go out and find 100 studies on how like early transition affects like the emotional well-being of trans people, and it's really important, I think. And so many people can be because they're like, oh, but what if they change their mind later? What if it's just a phase? And to me, it's just like, what if? So what? So what if it's a phase? Let them do their thing, and if they work out in 2 years' time that it's not for them, that's fine, right? Why does it matter if they change their name to Samantha for 2 years and then go, you know what, this isn't working for me, and changing back? I don't know why we have this hang up in society that kids experimenting with gender has to be a one-way trip.
Yeah, it doesn't at all. And I think that's just like a societal knee-jerk thing generally, you know, where it's like, there is a binary, do not cross the red line in the middle of the binary, you know, like, bullshit.
Yeah. And I think a lot of
people all know it's bullshit.
Yeah, but a lot of people think that because of the way like medical transition works, that a lot of this stuff is fixed and like irreversible. But the thing with like puberty blockers is they are designed to be 100% reversible. Like, you just take them and puberty stops, and then when you stop taking them, puberty starts again. And it lets kids like put a pause button.
Yeah. Like,
on their
are you sure? Are you not sure? Yeah.
To be able to spend time working themselves out.
Something. Think of the children. Yes, exactly.
Somebody, please think of the children.
Somebody, please. So I think changing the mind of parents will be tough. I definitely think you can broach the subject of like, hey, you know, like your kid is like unhappy, you know what I mean? But I can't, without more details, I can't give you any advice on what you should specifically do there.
Yeah.
People who are unaccepting are usually unaccepting in a fairly rigid manner, because actually being unaccepting of trans people is one of those things that's like, you can poke a million holes in it with rationality, but it's not a matter of being rational necessarily. You know what I mean? Cool. Next question. Let's move this along to question number 5.
Our next question comes from Tanya, and she asks, how do you stay motivated when there's an apparent slump in your transition? when you have to wait for things outside of your own influence, like a doctor's waiting list?
My advice for this is don't make your whole life about your transition. Know that your transition is a thing that you are doing and that you're moving forward and that's good shit is happening. But that, like, doctors' waiting lists can be shitty. I'm dealing with it right now, actually. I'm in that situation. I've got, like, I have to wait for surgery. That's it. Like, there's nothing else I can do but go to appointments that are scheduled and wait until they say the government will fund your surgery.
Yeah.
And until that happens, I can't do anything else. I just take my pills and I keep on rolling. And that's what I want, but I can't do anything about it. So instead, I focus on doing trans talk shows and streaming and all the other things that are part of my life that are not necessarily focused on the minute-to-minute transition details. What I will say is that not everything that they say you have to wait for, you have to wait for, okay? I took that into my own hands and went to like freaking 19 different GPs trying to find one that would give me my goddamn hormones, because I knew that legally they could do so. It was just a matter of finding someone who wasn't a dick. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things where, like, you get good at pitching yourself too if you need to. Just know where the barriers are and like what reasonably you're gonna wait for, and do other stuff while you wait.
Yeah.
Your life should be more than transitioning. That's my advice.
Yeah.
Sorry if I rambled over the top of that one, Ash.
No, I think you're good. I think the only thing I'd maybe add and clarify is the idea of being like proactive is important. Like you don't have to sit around not doing anything. Like if you're stuck, if one thing in your transition has stopped, you can find something else to do with it. Like if you're waiting for your doctor stuff, you can go and shop, go buy new clothes.
You know what? You know what? You can't get your doctor stuff moving forward. Buy yourself some pretty stuff that makes you look cool.
Yeah, exactly.
That's fine. Yeah, I like that plan. Actually, I might do that sometimes. I need new clothes. I like those. Anyway. Next question.
Next question.
Man, we're gunning through. All right. So this one comes from Jessica. She asks, after you started transitioning, how long did it take you to get comfortable traveling out of town for vacations and such? Well, Jessica, I'm still not entirely comfortable. I hate to say it, but when it comes to like, oh, some random people are looking at me and they might be saying something not so nice, or they might be thinking something rude, or like I feel like that person glanced at me and I felt really uncomfortable by the way that they did that. A lot of that's internal. A lot of that is you internalizing stuff that is not actually happening. It took me a very long time to realize that people in shops and stuff don't give a shit about you. They don't care what you're doing. They don't care what you're looking at or whatever. And yeah, the TSA is always going to be a pain in the ass. Chat mentions the TSA for traveling and stuff. I still have all my documents still read as mail, and like have my dead name on them and like read as mail and have mail markers on them and stuff. So when I travel, it's like, yeah, just look at this ID and just don't think about it and just let me through, please. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't look like me anymore, but this is it. Kind of shit. And I think after just existing, you eventually just go like, fuck you, fuck this, fuck everything. I don't care what you think. I don't care what anybody, like, I'm not comfortable, but I also am not going to not do stuff because it would make you feel uncomfortable or whatever. Like, it's not a thing anymore, you know? So how long? I still feel uncomfortable sometimes, but I don't let that discomfort stop me from doing anything I want to do.
Yeah, I think for me, a lot of it was a lot of it for me depends on where I'm going. Um, when I was in California last year, I guess it was a year before now. Um, I didn't really feel that uncomfortable because I felt like I was in a place that was reasonably like safe. Um, and I already been like in my transition for like a significant period of time. Whereas when I went to Tennessee, like 6 months after I came out, I was like, this is hell. Everyone is actually staring at me. That old man just gave me the dirtiest look.
Yep.
Oh my god. Yeah, I do a whole bunch of um like research before I travel anywhere on being like, can I actually go to this place? Am I gonna get in? Am I gonna get harassed if I go here? Like um there's a community meetup for Math Squad this year in like Latvia, and I'm like, I want to go, but I also don't want to go to Latvia.
Latvia, yeah, I don't know what the deal is there.
Yeah. So that's generally how I do it. I only go to places that I feel like I'm gonna be comfortable.
I think that's important though, like knowing where you're safe and where you're comfortable is good. You know, like I don't go wandering around downtown Edmonton that much because, like, you know what, this place is full of rig pigs and cocaine, basically, and like it's not super accepting. But except for a couple of different places, you know, like exactly these places.
Yeah.
But like I know that at LARP I'm fine. You know what I mean? Like shit like that. It's just like you got to pick your moments too.
Yeah, I find that I don't travel alone a whole bunch. Like I always try to travel with other people, and being with other people really like helps calm me down.
Yeah.
Like I went to Greece on holiday like 2 or 3 years ago, and if I'd gone by myself, I probably wouldn't have had any fun. But because I went with Sarah, I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm wearing a swimsuit the whole week. I'm sunbathing, and I'm just gonna rock it.
Sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
Sounds pretty good. All right. I think we covered it. What's next?
Our next question comes from Zalbar95. If a social change towards trans grammar,
I get it. But...
I'm gonna insert people in here. If social change towards trans people would happen tomorrow, what would you want it to be? How do we change the world overnight, Elf?
I mean, my answer is I would like everyone to know about it and like have basic understanding of what trans people are. Yes, you know what I mean? Please. Because I would do a lot less work that way. Yeah. You know, like that's it for me. Like I feel... everybody know.
Yeah.
That's all I need from me.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Like, just people knowing and not having to. Then again, I would never have anything to talk about on stream. Like, if I can't like do my trans 101 every 15 minutes because someone has come in and asked the question, I don't know what I talk about.
Wow, Ash. I think we're talking more about you than about trans stuff though at that point. Like, you gotta get some new material.
Yeah,
right?
I really do. Okay, quick question. As in, that question was quick. Next question.
Okay, what do we got? What are we rocking on? All right, let's see. This one doesn't have any
no.
from or pronouns.
No.
And it says, will you play the new God of War if developers make Kratos a female character? I play God of War now.
Yeah,
I play God of War. I played God of War before.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with that. I just think Kratos is a boring character. In this new one, he might be more interesting with the kid and everything, but it's just like, it's that whole thing where it's like, it's not about them being a male protagonist or whatever. That's not the thing that gets me. It's that they're boring.
Yeah.
Right.
They don't...
Like, that's all I care about. Like, Geralt is just boring. It's not about him being a man, you know, like.
Yeah, it's the fact that every single like white male character in video games right now is Nathan Drake. They're just all Nathan Drake.
Yeah,
they're all played by the same voice actor, and they're all the same character.
So I think that's the thing. It's not really about whether they're male or female or whatever. It's about that they're fucking boring.
Yeah. Though I will say I would 100% want the new voice actor for Kratos just to call me boy all day. He's pretty great.
I don't know. Anyway. Next one.
Yeah.
Hit it up.
Our next question comes from Andon, who is a very old friend of mine, who asks, how do you get to be so awesome?
You want to field this one first?
It's these little pills.
You took my joke. I was going to do that joke too. It's going to be like estrogen. Moving on.
Estrogen.
No, I think how do you get to be so awesome? You practice. You practice.
Lots of practice.
Awesomeness does not generate overnight. Awesomeness is a concerted, continual effort. And you cannot be awesome without first desiring to be awesome.
Yeah.
Is that enough for that one?
I think that's enough of that one.
All right. Here's another one from no one. It's from
Arya Stark is submitting questions
with no pronouns. Yeah, and the question is: has the people's attitude changed towards you after the transition to female? I think this is a non-English speaker first language. I can tell by the way the sentence is. Has the people's attitude changed towards you after the transition to female? What I will tell you is there's a lot that changes, like the social dynamic of the world shifts before your very eyes when you start conforming to the social structure from the side where you are not a man anymore. I tell you that much. It gets weird how different it is. What I will tell you is I would walk alone down streets whenever the fuck I goddamn pleased when I presented as male. But I would never dream to do the same thing now, because the worst thing that would happen to me before is that I might get robbed. And that is not the case anymore. You know what I mean? People don't listen to you as much or as intently. They don't care about your fucking opinion as much for some reason. It's like you're less valuable when it comes to any kind of intellectual input you could have. And you have to be much louder in a room full of people to get any kind of attention than you used to. And when you are, you get called out for being, like, shitty, basically. Yeah, like, she's so loud and bossy and like, her attitude is so poor or whatever. But that's what you have to do to get fucking attention, you know? Anyway.
I have a lot of trouble... Like just now, I have a lot of trouble like butting into conversations. Something I never used to have trouble with before I transitioned, but now I just people talk and I'm like, yeah, but can I just say just what just a thing, and by the time I actually get to say anything, the conversation has moved on, and I'm like, okay, but what you were talking about 5 minutes ago.
Sorry, Ash. I am a rampager of conversation.
No, it's good. It means I don't have to talk as much. But that's like the biggest thing that I've noticed is just being able to insert myself into conversations is more difficult now. People don't like it's something we talk about a lot in academia, is how do we get you can put 50% women in a room, but they still don't get like 50% of the conversation.
Yeah, definitely not.
Just because society's attitudes towards women speaking is not as significant, and you can. There's been times when I've made a suggestion, no one has listened to it, and then 5 minutes later a man makes that suggestion and everyone's like, that's a great idea, we should do that. And I'm like, but that was my idea.
That's what I said. What the fuck? Yeah. I think one thing to take away from this in general is this is a real thing that actually happens. And if you are a cis man or what have you, and you think, no way is that real thing, like that can't be a real, it does. It 100% is real. I promise you. Mm-hmm. Okay. I've been on both sides. I've been the shitty dude as well. I know this because I've been the shitty dude. And yes, mansplaining is real too. It is real.
I got the trifecta of man, cis, straight-splained, all in one tweet.
Oh, really?
I don't know how it happened, but someone came into like a Twitter thread I was discussing something on, and was like, well, like, put down like 3 different points of like, okay, you're a man and you have an opinion, you're a cis person, you have an opinion, and you're a straight person, you have an opinion. It's like, okay, great, everything is wrong, but fine.
It's always funny when people try to explain the gender binary to me. That's always a good one. Oh yeah, how much experience have you had with the gender binary? Friend who has never had to deal with anything except existing as they are? Because I've had a lot. Mm-hmm. Fucking hell. You really think I don't know more about any of this kind of shit than you? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And like, out of context compliments, I get a lot of. You probably do as well, Elf. Like, just like random, like someone will send you like a Twitter message request and it will just say cute. And I'm like,
yeah. I don't get that as much. I don't remember if it was on the trans agenda that I talked about this, but I got my first unsolicited streamer dick pic recently. Not a streamer's dick, but like a random person on Twitter sent me a DM that was definitely a dick pic. It's the first time this happened. I felt like I must be internet famous now. I'm getting unsolicited dick pics. Mm-hmm. So, you know, that's.
I only get solicited.
Pretty sure if I was a man, I wouldn't be getting unsolicited dick pics. Just saying.
That should be a Twitch achievement.
But also, it's one of those things where it's like, and this is just completely to the side of anything that we've been talking about, but it's one of those things where it's like, no dick pic is a good dick pic because nobody wants them, because everybody gives them out for free. So the market has been flooded.
Yeah,
all of you who thought dick pics would be valuable one day, they never will, because there are like 1 million of them, and they are given out for free. So there you go. The dick pic economy is all fucked up. All right, moving on.
Yeah. Okay, our next question is from Ryu Hazuki. There are no pronouns here. But the question says, is it true that you're getting physically weaker after transformation to female?
Transformation.
We're not magical girls, unfortunately.
You speak for yourself. I'm fucking magical as hell. Okay?
Yes.
I have a witch hat and everything.
Yeah.
I can get it, but I'm not going to because I'd have to get up. But I think technically yes, it is true 100%. Because muscle mass reduces because testosterone is one of those things that like you get beefier with, and we don't have any.
So I have like 100% experience with this. Like I am the example that I bring up when I'm like, you don't need to worry about trans athletes. I used to run like 5K like 3 times a week before I transitioned. Well, after I transitioned, but before I started HRT. I used to be able to do 5K in under 30 minutes. After I started HRT, and I particularly when I started testosterone blockers, my like running performance has just like tanked. I can like barely do a 5K. I probably couldn't do a 5K now because I haven't run in like 6 months. But when I was running last summer, I was doing like a 5K but not running the whole thing in like 35-40 minutes. So like there's like 5 to 10 minutes of like added time just because my testosterone levels are 0.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have any athletic data to back up anything that I have on mine other than I was already a puny weakling and now I'm also a puny weakling. So it's fine. Like I'm still as thin as a rail and fucking weak as shit. But yes, the data does back up that you lose muscle mass.
Yes.
Cool. Next question.
Next question.
This one's from Elegant Syntax. Hello, Elegant Syntax. Lovely to get a question from you. And it says, what are some of the key factors you consider in pursuing medical transition? What resources and information did you find or were given that helped you come to this decision? What is your favorite question to answer, and what is the answer to that question? Ash?
So the biggest consideration for me in my medical transition is, how do I get boobs?
How to boobs.
How to boobs. And I went on the internet and I did. I didn't.
I went on the internet and I googled how to boobs.
But yeah, so the big the main thing in the UK is called the Interim Gender Protocol, which is the NHS guidelines for people who are transitioning, and it's a really like well laid out document, which is like, these are all of the steps, these are the things that the NHS funds, these are the surgeries you can get, these are the surgeries you can't get, and yeah, it was very much just a lot of googling and reading.
You know where I learned about trans things and like realized that trans things were a thing that I was? MMOs. Reddit? No, MMOs. I got all my data from random friends on the internet. My friends, all of it. Guild Wars 2 and World of Warcraft, I credit, and City of Heroes, I credit as locations where I made lots of friends who knew shit about what I was dealing with, but I didn't even know I was dealing with it yet. Other than that, like when I was thinking about the medical transition stuff and like actually starting my shit, I did a lot of like, all right, what do I do? Cool. Internet. All right, I got the answer. Okay, go see a doctor. Okay, that doctor didn't help me. Go see another doctor. Okay. All right, now I gotta look on the internet more. It's just like a lot of,
yeah.
You know, like I can't point out any particular resource that was really helpful or whatever, but like I did a lot of talking to people and reading documents on the internet.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. Yeah. MMOs. MMO community. Back when you had to be in a guild and LFG for a while and shit, and you met lots of interesting people.
I don't think I ever met anyone interesting when I played WoW.
Look, when I was a young teen, I accidentally catfished like a bunch of people on the internet like a bunch of times. Okay?
Well,
not my fault. I didn't mean to do it. It wasn't my intention. I just didn't want to reveal my identity on the other side of the computer screen.
Yeah.
And then
yeah.
And then it just turned into lying.
Just more lies. Lies built up on lies.
It's real. Like it's not my fault. I blame them. They were the victims and also the reason I did the thing. Okay.
It's okay. We forgive you.
What about the second? What about the second part of the question? What about the second part of the question? What is your favorite question to answer, and what is the answer to that question?
What is my favorite question to answer?
Yeah. What do you jump at the opportunity to answer? And this can be any question. It doesn't say trans related thing.
Yeah, I mean,
like anything.
I don't know. Why is Stargate SG-1 the best TV show that's ever been made? Let me tell you. Okay, so Stargate SG-1 is this fantastic TV show that stars Richard Dean Anderson as Colonel Jack O'Neill, 2 L's, where they have these ring gates that open wormholes, and also Amanda Tapping plays Samantha Carter, who is the best, female character to be on TV ever, with the exception of one episode in season 1.
With the exception of one episode in
season 1? There's a really bad episode in season 1 where a bunch of shit happens and Samantha Carter gets kidnapped by a Mongol tribe on another planet, and then has to pretend to be a perfect wife for this Mongol warlord, and then at the end of the episode she challenges him to single combat and kicks his ass.
Okay.
But it's very weird. It's a really bad episode.
I see.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's a good question. I'm trying to think of I've been using this entire time to think of what my favorite question is and my answer to that question.
How was LARP this weekend, Elf?
That is a really good question, and I could talk about it a lot. You're right. Something about LARP is probably the question. Yeah, why do you like LARP?
Why LARP?
Probably. Why LARP? And the answer is I get to do all the stupid, crazy, awesome, badass character things that I would do if I were playing D&D or tabletop stuff in the same amount of freedom. But I also get to dress up like that character, and I also get to act, and I also get to be that person, not just say what that person is doing. I get to fully immerse myself in this character that is not me and put my troubles aside for a good 3 days while I think about the troubles of whatever the fuck character I'm playing for those 3 days, because their troubles are much more immediate. Yeah. Also, how boobs?
How boobs?
How boobs? Good question.
Deep.
Yeah.
So that's next question.
Yeah. Let's do the next one.
I should really change this form so that we require at least a name.
I mean, from anonymous.
Yes. Which audience do you prefer, and which ones are you more comfortable with? Female, male, trans, kobolds? What's it like having a Twitch chat full of kobolds, Elf?
They really like shiny things and digging a lot. But no, seriously, on the answer for this, audience-wise, I like any kind of audience, but I seem to attract a trans audience because, hey, I'm relatable. Yes. No shit.
Turns out people like to watch people on Twitch that are like them.
You know why that's why all the white male bearded streamers are the top numbered streamers, because all the viewers are white male bearded viewers. Yes.
Now my chat is just full of kobolds.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's what happens when you mention kobolds. They show up in greater numbers.
Yes. They are best in caves.
Yeah, and in Twitch chats.
The Twitch chat is a cave, to be honest.
That's true, yeah.
I feel the same, right? Is it doesn't really matter what the like demographic of chat is at the end of the day, as long as everyone is being cool and respectful and having fun. But yeah, I tend to attract a certain niche of Twitch people.
Personally, I really like what's happening in chat right now, which is Red Virus has just said, but wait, I watch you nerds. What does that mean for me? I hate to tell you this, Red Virus.
Egg emoji.
Egg emoji. I should get an egg emote. Oh my god, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna get an egg.
Yeah.
That's a good call. All right, what's next? Okay, I've got one from Gargoam.
Yeah.
And it is from her, and she says, as a trans woman, I frequently have strong feelings on missing out on my childhood. Do you have any advice with coping with this?
Do childish shit.
Yeah, the great thing about being trans is you get 2 puberties, which I declared as meaning I got 2 teenage periods where I could be like a brat and an idiot with things and like look like a moron. So I just, I mean, if you're like, man, I really wish I could have done that thing or whatever, why not just do it? Not to say that like that's always possible or whatever, but I think that you also have to realize that you still had a childhood, and your childhood was still a childhood of of you, the person you are. You know what I mean? And that it's not invalidated because you were presenting as male then, or what have you. Like, that doesn't make it not still a childhood of a type. You know what I mean? I get this. I totally do. But one of the things I've tried really hard to like, I don't know, deal with on this thing is that like it's still my past is my past, and to look back and wistfully yearn for something I will never actually have in the way that I want it does not help my future. You know what I mean? Like, moving forward and doing the cool shit over there is much better than looking back at the shit I can't turn around and go back and do that just make me sad. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, I agree.
Also, slumber parties are better when you drink wine at them. Yeah.
Like I'm a big advocate for this idea that being an adult realizes that realizing you can do like childish things, and that's perfectly okay. I spend a lot of my time playing video games. After transitioning, one of the big things I wanted to do was like dye my hair a crazy color, because I was surrounded by girls my age when I was a teenager who were fully into like the scene kid emo stuff, who were like either dyeing their hair pitch black or dyeing their hair bright red. And I was like, okay, that's what I want to do. Like, as soon as I have the ability to start dyeing my own hair, I started doing it, and that is a way for me to like reach back into my past and bring something forward and do that. And the great thing about fashion is fashion goes in cycles. So a lot of the stuff that you missed out on, like fashion wise as a kid, you're gonna be able to do again soon anyway, because it will just come around again. If bell bottoms were the thing when you were a kid and you never got to wear bell bottoms, don't worry, you can wear bell bottoms again. They will come round.
See, Dave, I circumvent the whole when can wearing actual metal armor be fashion by just going to LARP and getting to dress up and wear metal armor. And
Yeah,
shit.
exactly.
Yeah. I mean, I can't wear a wizard robe every day, but I feel fucking kick-ass when I do. You know what I mean?
It's true.
Yeah.
Okay, next question. This question is from Talia. How do you go about meeting other trans people IRL? Not for romantic reasons, just meeting other people you can speak about trans stuff freely.
Most cities will have some kind of like monthly meetup thing or something. Like it's just a matter of like checking with your local queer groups and so forth if that's what you want to do. As for like meeting trans people randomly in like bars and stuff, I don't know. I don't do that.
Yeah,
I live on the internet where real life is scary.
Yeah. So it can definitely be a like if you're. It's really easy if you're a student because guaranteed your university is going to have like an LGBT like society or get together group. Fair warning, most of those just end up being like hookup groups. But there will be some like good like relationship like friendship building going on in those groups as well. But yeah, I think like this is where Facebook really comes into its own in that you can almost guaranteed if you Google your city or your town and trans or LGBT, you will find a page and you will find people who identify that way.
Exactly.
And then you just go on there and you request access and you go, hey, I want to like hang
nerds.
out.
I want to also be a nerd with you. Well, I mean, I guess it's not a nerd thing. It's
exactly.
Hey, trans doesn't work as well.
What I really want to see in the world is like LGBT cafes, right? Because not everyone wants to go to a bar.
I mean, I agree. Yeah,
right?
I'm not like really a bar person. I would go to an LGBT cafe and hang out there and be like, "Yo, friends, what up?"
Like that would be great.
I'd be up for that. Like the LGBT Starbucks.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd be up for that. Definitely. Somebody make it rainbow Starbucks.
Yes.
Or something. I don't know. Next question. From Claire. And Claire says, I don't have a summer wardrobe yet, and it's starting to get warm. Advice and or suggestions. Buy clothes, Claire.
Yes.
That's what wardrobes are. Clothes.
May I recommend booty shorts?
I cannot recommend those, as I am a repressed person who wears only pants all the time. I'm one of those people who, like, even in the summer, you're not entirely sure how I survive because I wear like pants.
Like how are you not overheating?
Like jeans,
how do you not have
like closed-toed shoes, and it's all black and shit. And people are like, "How are you alive?" I don't even know. I'm not a good person for this.
So I found my trouble in like my first year when I was like buying like my seasonal wardrobes is the appropriate seasonal clothes aren't in the shops when it's that season.
They're in the shops the season before that season.
No, they're selling them for the next season. So you go if you go to a New Look in summer and they have all their autumn clothes, and I'm like, but I need skirts because it's 30 degrees outside. And they're like, no, you need jeans because it's August in 2 months. And I'm like, no, this doesn't work. I don't know why. Like, you go into a clothes shop in the UK right now, and they'll have like half a wall of like swimsuits and like beach cover-ups and stuff, and I'm like, but it's still single digits outside. Like, oh my god.
Listen, the answer is just wear jeans all the time like me and you'll be fine.
There you go. Jeans a t-shirt.
Summer living means jorts only. I can't say the word jort without thinking about the really like VP Kobold image. I can't.
Oh god,
the word jort is just tied specifically to that.
Yeah. Okay, I think we're at the end of.
I think we're done. I think we've done it.
So the last question in the Google form comes from Sam. It says, "Have you used RPing to explore your gender? Did it feel natural or was it uncomfortable?"
Do you remember that time I said I accidentally catfished a whole bunch of people on the internet? The answer is yes. I have used RP a lot to explore my gender, and it helped me a lot when I was like getting to a point where I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna come out. I'm gonna be who I am. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What you should do is go and watch the episode of The Transagenda featuring Ash McCallum, where we talked about trans stuff in gaming, and we talked all about this, and it was great.
Yep, that's what you should do. It's good. But for now, I think that's it, right? I think we have done the thing.
Yeah, I think we did
the stuff. And usually we'd be like, yo, chat, give us questions, but we just finished answering like 17 questions. And also you could have just submitted a question on the Google form while we were doing it. So, you know, too late if you wanted to ask a question. Sucks to be you. Ash, tell me about where you live and what you do and all the stuff that's coming up that is exciting for you.
Well, I live right here at twitch.tv/AshleyNova. Tomorrow I'm doing like a celebration stream because it's a year since I got my affiliate status on Twitch. At least it's a year since I got my first bit donation, which I'm pretty sure was like the day I got affiliate. So I'm gonna drink some wine and play some BattleTech because that's the perfect combination. So that'll be tomorrow. We have more episodes of Feelings First coming out, which is great. You should all listen to that because I get to say shit like the safe word is fire, and it's great.
That's a bad safe word.
It's a bad safe. I play a bad character, Elf.
Okay.
My worm is a bad person. It's great. And yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Ashley_Nova_.
Elf. And as for myself, you will see me on that sweet Distracted Elf areas, twitch.tv/Distracted Elf, or on Twitter at Distracted Elf is where you can find me. In the next couple of days, I am going to be streaming some Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire. I get to do that a little early thanks to some hookups and contacts that I have, which is nice. So I'm looking forward to doing that. Up until then, I'll probably be playing some BattleTech, and then obviously we're doing what do you call it? I'm really excited for the next Burning Wheel game. Let's just put it that way. On Roll20 on the Roll20 channel. I'm very excited about what is gonna happen in that game.
I caught up over the last few days, and I'm like, yep.
I wanna do that. So I'm that, and other things obviously. Yeah. I'll be around. Twitch.tv/DistractedElf or on Twitter at DistractedElf. You can find all my shit. Cool. This has been the Transagenda episode double ones. Let's leave now. Ash, turn the stream off. Let's go.
Bye everyone.